Welcome, Aries. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I have pulled for you for your overall energy for this message, the Death card, or as is more appropriate to the time, the Rebirth card. This is clearly an emblem of spring, in as much as it's about regeneration, and that is the theme of your reading at this time. Restarting something, experiencing something again in a fuller form, in a more abundant way. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the 10 of Cups. And this is describing your desiring of a community, of the things that you want, of achieving your goals, as opposed to a state that you're coming into where you want to experience the feeling of your achievement. This is sort of simultaneous to obtaining your dreams, and this is about living in the experience of that achievement. So the theme I'm gaining is it is more about experience than acquisition. And for one who is driven by the planet Mars, which is active and which represents the bursting forth and blooming energy of the springtime, this is really asking you to allow yourself to feel the feelings that you desire, to inhabit the emotional spaces of your dreams. In the first house, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and I'm going to remind you that this is a general reading and it will not resonate for all of you. So the Eight of Pentacles is describing the way that you're showing up for your community. Perhaps this feels like a specific project or goal that you are working diligently and very methodically to achieve. You're putting your focus into the experience of crafting, of making. And this is a beautiful overlap between the idea that you are inhabiting your dreams in a way. And the astrological signature that's occurring now is Venus will be moving into Aries tomorrow. And this is about the idea that when it conjuncts Neptune shortly thereafter, you're really allowing yourself to inhabit your dreams, your illusions, your goals, your sense of an ideal or idealized community or experience of flow. And you're very dedicated to these steps in achieving that, bringing it down to earth, manifesting this in some practical way. Eights are always about success because it indicates that you are internalizing the preparation for experiencing, obtaining this new beginning. This new project bodes well as you're willing to put everything into it. In the first house, the Nine of Wands is about this determination that is signature, again with your sign. This is something that you have been working at consistently throughout your experiences, perhaps over a very long time, for some of you throughout your life. The claiming what you desire and the pursuit of that. And this indicates that you have had a wealth of experiences, you have a lot of resources, and that you've worked very hard and incurred a lot of damage, nicks, wounds along the way. But you are not giving up, nor should you, as you understand that you are very close to obtaining that goal. And again, it feels as though this is a reminder that it is within the realm of your passion, your desire, that you are ultimately making the final push towards something that lives in your community, in your dream or ideal community, in a practical way, in a way that expresses your complete whole being. In the fourth house, the house of your home, your family, your foundation, the Six of Pentacles is talking about the way that you now understand the contracts and energy exchanges in your life, so that you understand that everything is an exchange, everything is a balance. This is a shout out to Libra forces, your opposite energy, but the energies that are ruled by Venus, the balancing, the eternal harmonizing, the push and pull, and the way that you can synthesize that and channel that energy into being very clear in your exchanges. This shows up most dramatically in money and relationships, so that from claiming your desire, being clear about what it is you want, you accept that as the starting point of all the negotiations and communications required to pound out agreements that are equitable. In the seventh house, the house of your significant relationships, we have justice here. And this gives me a flood of information that regards your familial relationships, perhaps some generational healing, and also a kind of activism or present day concern with equalizing the balance of power that you experience in the world, so that all have access to the means to sustain themselves. So the thread of justice is really about this idea that you're internalizing about what you have already earned and what you are owed, as well as the sense that as you have made this transition from, in an extreme case, being a victim to being empowered, you are in a position to advocate for others along that same sense of universal empowerment. This also indicates that there is enough for everyone. And so you are specifically looking in your relationships for the equity that you are advocating for in the world. And in a way, those relationships are mirroring your sense of the ideal community, the ideal relationships that must be worked at consistently. One never rests from the idea of social justice or equity. It's like housework. It has to continue to be done. As we grow and move on, these are ideas we seed in future generations, just as our ancestors have seeded us. Please forgive my voice. Allergies have gotten the best of me, and I'm hoping that this is resonating for you. If so, please like this reading. Share this with others if you feel moved, and please subscribe to my channel, Pacific's Tarot. I appreciate all of you that comment. It's so confirming to have your share of experiences inform what I do. The Judgment card, I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. So, in an interesting way, this is showing me that as you are learning to remove a sense of self-judgment from your internal dialogue, you are less inclined to judge others. And this is important because part of this sense of being overlooked, not receiving what you are owed, this sense of being unnecessarily burdened with responsibilities that don't entirely belong to you. And this is part of a family story for many of you. This is a way in which, as you have learned to value yourself, you no longer and love yourself, being gentler with yourself. You're learning that there is no need for judgment. Every experience is unique, and you're growing in your power to experience the possibilities without judgment. That means that you are able to see situations and the potential within relationships to move in a way that uh, removes a sense of criticism, judgment, a negative feedback, or standing back and uh, considering yourself better than others. And I think judgment for many of us with a certain family story is a way of protecting yourself and a way of hiding your sense of failure or inadequacies. Those you are removing as you are well aware. This is a process of healing that never ends, that continues to spiral upward as part of this healing process. So you are refining your sense of self-value, self-care, self-respect. And in that way, your relationships are being filtered, refined, ever more in balance, ever more in harmony. In the first house, the Nine of Wands is clarified by the Four of Swords. And this shows me that your history of uh, throwing yourself passionately towards those goals that are inspired by your heart, by your abilities and your talents, has been necessarily reviewed, the history of that. You've adjusted the way that you move towards your goals, the way you acquire things as a result of taking an honest look at what you have achieved and where you have been extraordinarily challenged. The gratitude that you now experience as a result of understanding that these challenges were on purpose, have helped you to gain wisdom based on the knowledge of self you now have. So this becomes your spiritual foundation, a way that you review the past for the lessons that are germane to the present moment. And this is what informs your perspective in the everyday. In the fourth house, the Six of Pentacles is clarified by the Eight of Cups, mirroring the Eight of Pentacles. Eights, for many of you, we have is always an indication of success. The Eight of Cups is now showing me that your ability to negotiate and welcome new opportunities through relationship, through the exchanges of energies, has been empowered by the relationships that you are now in a position to release. Again, that is without judgment. You're not necessarily attempting to separate yourself from those who may no longer uh, recognize or value you in the way that you would like to be, but you accept and release them with love, knowing that those relationships have taught you, that you have learned from your most vehement opponents. And in that way, you now have the courage to mount the challenges that are part of your destiny, part of your own creation. You need the challenge to move forward and begin to apply the principles of negotiation and agreement that you have learned. In the seventh house of your significant relationships, the Justice card is clarified by the Sun. And this is sort of repeating the idea at a much higher level that your relationships you now see are a reflection of your inner self, your most pure, your most innocent ability to achieve your goals and experience joy and pleasure in what you do. It isn't necessarily the things you acquire, it's the experience of the journey towards those things. And the Sun indicates that in your working with others, you are sure to share your joy. This joy is modeling for others the ability to experience the abundance of the world. In a time of so much austerity, fear and anxiety about loss and change, it's important for us to focus on what remains, what is there, not on what is not, and your ability to work towards your goals in such a joyful way with so much pure expression of your own journey is uplifting to all you work with and helps you to create a structure that others can feel safe within. In the 10th house, the Eight of Pentacles is clarified by the Knight of Cups. And here, ultimately, this is underlining the idea that Venus in your sign is focusing on not only your feelings and emotions, your relationships, but of your of willingness to feel the state of joy, success, victory, accomplishment, achievement. This desire for success in some realm is one that is still somewhat elusive for you. It's not that you haven't experienced success in your life, you have, but this particular success or achievement that you are aiming yourself towards reflects your individual and independent talents and skills. This is not the residual benefits of your associations or relationships with others. And that's why it is so important for you as an independent Aries, as a passionate doer, director, leader, charge, that you're moving forward in a way to allow yourself to experience positive feelings, your emotional state. Of course, there's a way that you're challenging that into the making, the crafting of your goals, the things that express who you are. But the focus is definitely on living in your dreams as an experience, not as an achievement or not as an acquisition, something you're getting. You can get whatever you want, but can you experience it? Can you live it? I'm going to finish up this reading, Aries, with a crystal oracle and hope that this reading is resonating for you. And I pulled the Hiddenite, and the key word is gratitude. I'm grateful, and this loving energy fills every single cell of my body. Thank you so much for this reading, Aries. If you've enjoyed this content, check out more here. And until next time, namaste.